Well, today's video on YouTube Live about mental illness and what it details and the severity of mental illness out there. Now, of course, I've seen it too. The one friend I know who got into doing street drugs ended up mentally ill as a result of doing those street drugs. Crystal meth, indeed. Now, mental illness and paranoid schizophrenia, more common mental illness that seem to be out there that it's very hard to keep under control or diagnose. So, over paranoid schizophrenia can be caused by demon possession of a person, contribute into a misdiagnosed that way, or paranoid schizophrenia is a disease that is, common in humans because what it is when somebody, between the ages of 8 years old to about 40, it's pretty much where paranoid that individual could develop schizophrenia. I mean, some people go through this childhood, no mentions being paranoid schizophrenic, go through high school, no recognition, go good into university, get the second year university, then they start hallucinating and go all crazy. They can't figure out what's going on. The college professor, they see it. They see it in the classroom. What do they do? And they will turn around and say, and they will actually would turn around and a student runs to student health. No, they don't know what to do. Okay. And then the college professors say, well, we got to take her to, he or she to, she got to go mental hospital. So they run to hospital, they diagnose her being paranoid schizophrenia, worst case. That individual ends up in the mental hospital. Well, take the pill. But common thing that most mental patients do when they leave a hospital, they're taking the pill in the hospital and leave it. They get the pill, but they say, oh, I'm doing fine. I don't need the pill. I'm doing okay. And they stop taking the pills. And guess what? Right back to where they were. There's one person I know right now who does that. Matter of fact, they got this time the campus got here in Hamilton Mental Hospital really tough of it. They said to her, if this time she stopped taking her pills again. After that, this time for you to Form 10. That is the indefinite form. It's called it. Indefinite form means that person now is locked up in the hospital on a ward indefinitely with no eligibility for release unless they talk to the advocate. And even talking to the advocate can be like a sore in itself. Advocates agree with the admitting doctors and psychiatrists. So they know way that if the person get out of that, they're lucky. But actually, they use applied needles in that case, where they will put a person in a chemical straitjacket, the person, and keep him in a straitjacket indefinitely. They don't, let it wear out. So they can keep somebody in there for as long as they need to be in. And there's no other way you can get out unless you really know the primary advocate to do it. And if you got smart enough, you could. Here's what happened to mental patients in Canada when admitted to a hospital. They have a right to an attorney, same as you do if you're going to a correctional facility, in a way. Also, you got a right to see an advocate, the patient advocacy in a hospital, which most mental patients in a hospital will see. Anyway, they try to get, and they work advocate for release. The advocate will look at the missing papers and say, okay, Mr. X, Mrs. X, you're not taking your medication when you leave a hospital. You come back all the time, recommitting. I'm sorry, a discharge is denied, basically. And they keep saying that, the advocate. So the advocate would, it's a great way of putting it. But Mrs. X goes get a hold of attorney for legal aid. The attorney comes. Attorney sits down and starts talking of it. They say the attorney this, well, she is schizophrenic and she cannot be released underground, so that too. But we can send her someplace. For what they do, unfortunately, in North America, unfortunately, in the world, the only two mental asylums operating still. There's been one in North America, one in here, but not in Hamilton, not in Canada, called a Lockport, New York Asylum up north of Lockport. That is called a mental asylum there, and it's still operating. They have patients there, and they keep patients. More gear for incurable mental illness, people taking meds. There's another one out in England called Borthwick Asylum. It's very, 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 very large. It can, if you go along the M6 motorway heading north out of London, the time when you drive along the road, the carriageway heading out there, north of London, it makes a turn, and that's a bypass around this beautiful town. Unfortunately, you got a town, but they have one road that goes into it. And what the old road, original road did, but the other road bypasses it around, so that you are not fenced off there. So you can't drive on the old road going into town. But you get up there and there's a big, huge, beautiful gate, pillars, and it's called Borthwick Mental Asylum. You go bypass right around it. Actually, you can monitor the motorway and you can drive right on the motorway, bypasses it. It's the largest mental asylum ever going in the United Kingdom. It's the size of a small town. It's actually what the whole entire town that it turned into a mental asylum. That's nicknamed. The town was called Borthwick. It turned into a mental asylum. It's the largest mental asylum in the world. Basically, and this have everything from hair, beauty parlor, right down to its, cafeteria food. It has everything in there like you need to live in our hospital. And believe it or not, they get patients from all over the world there coming be admitted to that asylum. They get patients from Canada. They get patients from all over the world. Borthwick and the Lockport, they get patients from all over the United States and Canada. Believe it or not. So, I mean, they're talking about, respite camp, thinking about admitting her to the Lockport Asylum in north of Lockport. So that's gonna be like, that will end up being Lori's new home eventually, maybe, or Borthwick. They put out requests to both, for admitting her there permanently for long haul, and decided if they should admit her or not admit her. And right now, they do admit her to the U.S. one in Lockport. You have to get a medical visa called Hamilton Health Science. They have to get called an I-160. You know what that is? I-160 in admission for medical visa admission. They call where the person is admitted in the United States to seek mental health treatment. I-160 is pretty much involved that. So when you go to I-160, it's a person that pay for their treatment. Have a house on it, they'll pay for her treatment. They keep her locked up in a mental asylum, and they're not what they do. So basically, even in the United States, they're more trickier to get out to the U.S. than in Canada, because you don't have an advocate in Canada, but you don't have a patient advocate in Canada. You have a patient advocate in Canada. United States, they got a patient government council in their hospital. they have to go through government council to get discharged. And even Eloy got discharged from that asylum Lockport, then then at that point, U.S. Border Services have the right to remove her from the United States almost right after being admitted, right after discharge. Or she can leave it, or an option to leave the country at her own free will when she needs to, or an option two, applying for a green card, which she won't get anyways, which somebody know won't get. That's one thing. They called it that way. She'll leave the country and head back to Canada again. But unfortunately, with that type of mission, a Form 10, that means she would send her getting discharged at 0. But to send or keep her in the hospital 100%, which we're going to do now. Because he means deemed incurable. They deemed her incurable, basically. That's what they did, no? So they're keeping her locked up, and that's where she's going to stay, in the hospital. She won't be getting out of hospital. She will remain there, and she'll be sent to one of those two places. They're just waiting on a reply back, one of them, and if they send her to a Borthwick asylum in the UK, they can do that too. That means they have to fly her by a medical. They'll fly her by air, by life flight they'll fly her by private jet from Outer Hamilton Airport to UK, and then they will pick her up an ambulance there, and they will take her by ambulance into the Borthwick and admit her there, basically. That's how that works, And then in the United Kingdom, see, that's an option. Oh, well, UK got little options there involved. Number one, that when you admit it to a Borthwick asylum, you can apply for UK citizenship. And that's an option. Number one. Option number two is you can get, until you get your mental health treatment. I also got down to apply for British citizenship, want to, which is that she could apply for it and get it, yes, but that because when people came to Canada from Britain hundreds of years ago, migrated here from other countries, a time of chivalry and knighthood, a time of chivalry in the medieval time, a lot of people emigrated here over hundreds of years. So, integrated there 100 years back under one of these immigrants that came hundreds of years ago, basically. So, that's why in England you got crown attorneys in a courtroom. You got crown attorneys, and you got judges there, and judges in the courtroom, not in crown attorneys. You have the Canadian court calendar. You got, even immigration law, almost identical to Canadian immigration law. In many ways, it's a little stricter, but it's law tuning. So you can follow that too if you want to look at that. It's one of the things that was put in there back in the days of chivalry, and in the days of when Queen Victoria, when the early kings on the throne, they said about colonists who leave England and come to Canada, the New World, and when they return, they still be allowed back in the country and have access and allowed to reapply for citizenship upon their return with no question asked, basically. So that's something that's why Canadian citizens have the option of applying for citizenship in the UK, and it's after getting it very good and having record expunged, basically. Well, I wouldn't go that far as applying for citizenship in the UK myself, because one, it can be, if I did that, I wouldn't know where all the services are. I begin with New London, England. I wouldn't know all the services. I would know where if the woman drop in there or not. I would know the Sacred Willow's there. I would not know anything. I'd be totally lost. I'd be more. It would be more confusing to me than not and to you. And even immigrate in the United States, that would be more confusing. Not confusing, but yeah, if the health service is not, the Medicaid, Social Security, it would not get the same type of funding. I would not the same way at OHIP in Canada. So we got some. Britain got a really good health care service. They do similar to OHIP called. It's called British Health Insurance. It's exactly the same as OHIP, but it covers things like bottom surgery very quick and cruel. Like if I went to England and got bottom surgery done in the UK, it done fast. They done well. Unfortunately, it's like Canadian government is really slow on doing so, slower than ever. So I'm looking at it myself and saying, well, they need to wake up. But that's just because I've gone on about something else here I shouldn't have. Back on what it is, paranoid schizophrenia. Somebody hallucinates stuff, but see things are not there. Hear voice is not there. And it's a very baffling disease, or how you look at it. And I mean, people get into doing crystal meth, drugs, street drugs. What they do, and it causes irreversible damage to the brain. And when it does that, it creates a condition called paranoid schizophrenia. So everybody have a little dot in the brain that's red. Somebody BSP, it's a little bit bigger, but somebody paranoid schizophrenic, that red dot is huge, sometimes be about the size of a tennis ball, golf ball size. Can be a baseball size in some cases. The bigger that the blocks are red in the brain, the more schizophrenic they are. And that commonly can happen to younger people too. With street drugs, what they do is to make that block so big that the person has it. And that's common fact with street drugs. You know what I'm talking about? But the thing is, a lot of kids, I could sit in it easy I'm not good fan, but I know somebody is. So I always know what I'm thinking about. Believe it or not. She always knows what I'm thinking about. But weird because she has a very powerful extrasensory perception. Believe it or not. People who are schizophrenic have very strong power of extrasensory perception in a way. Of just reading people's minds. They read mine a few times and said things. Personal stuff I know, but I wouldn't tell anybody. But weird to think about it. That's true. And sometimes her mind is so disorganized, like a computer. And then I can read her mind and see what, I read hers a few times. Or you pick up on thought that she's thinking about me and say, well, stuff like that. Odd to think about, but there is that too. Well, these two, one of the worst, weird, bad things the Nazi did do, I tell you, you should take the mentally insane people out of the hospital, people paranoid schizophrenic. You should stick them up on the front lines of the advancing, when British or American came to advance on the Nazi front. What happens? Well, they're the first to go before the soldier behind them go, before that real one, for one not go behind them, yeah? You should line the mental patient up for that British would shoot them dead British Americans and Canadians would shoot the metal patient dead before they get for the admitting anything else. This was eliminating the mental illness by the Nazi regime, which they did. That's how Nazi took care of it. Didn't euthanize, they put them on front line getting killed by Nazis. Now, that's not a way of putting it. That is the way to do it, yes. I admit to that. But is it a way of admitting somebody? Yes. Does it work? Yes. Yeah, it would work, but you know what? It's a painful way of doing it by putting somebody get strength up front line just to get rid of them. That's not the way to do it. That was very cruel and inhumane treatment. That's something I heard about over time. Anyway, so yeah, they don't do that today. And the amount of mental asylum admissions, these mental asylum dotted the every countryside, believe it or not. Today, there's very few out there that dot the countryside. Matter of fact, there are very few, very less. There's only 2 asylums in the world that are even operating. One in the UK and one in the United States of America. Those are only 2 in the world operating. They get patient admission requests all over the world. Think about that one. So yes, there's still need for them, but not a big need that were back in the days anyway. So I see a viewer here. I say thank you. Anyways, it's this Sunday morning here. I've gone on for a few hours here. I've gone too long already about it. And the time is wasting here. I got to get moving. So may God bless you today and have a wonderful, productive day. And heading off to a place of worship, go and enjoy your place of worship. I'm heading off to mine at the meeting house downtown Hamilton. Hopefully that you head off to yours, whether Catholic, Anglican, whether Pentecostal or Anabaptist, you just do. Anyways, so amen to this. Amen. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Amen.